There you go.
Here we are testing a whole bunch of new stuff.
New equipment. We've got a microphone and a new camera, so hoping we can get some good feedback from you guys to see. So we are here on a celebration day.
Woo woo. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get you there. Day of celebration. Who would have thunk? I made it to 6.5 years. March 11th, 2016 was the last time I made a bad decision, which resulted in incarceration and in turn resulted to my recovery.
Right.
So we got a couple people on. What's up, Dustin? Thanks. Heather, thank you so much. Hey, I got a technical question for y'all. Can y'all see just us? Is there any does it say 125 F56 under the screen? Somebody let me know. Nicole, thank you so much. We're just hanging out today, trying some new equipment. We're doing Q&A. I don't have all the right answers. My wife just celebrated her 7-year mark not that long ago. Yes, it does. Okay, so we will work on that on the next one. Right. We're coming to y'all from a new camera, new microphone. So thanks for being here. Thank you, Hope Shot. And yeah, I know. Justin, I appreciate you. Hugh, thank you so much. It's been an interesting 6.5 years, right? Like, just because I'm in recovery and I'm working on myself doesn't mean there isn't bad days, right? Like, I mean, we've been going to counseling individually. We'll actually start tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to individual counseling to deal with some of my stuff. Like, I got sober and I'm in recovery and life is good, but it's still life on life's terms. Lo and behold, you know how they talk about skeleton closets, right? Like, we did all this bad stuff and then we get sober, we get into recovery, we got to open the door on that skeleton closet. So lo and behold, I'm dealing with some serious trauma from adolescence through teenage years and stuff. So we've had to seek counseling. We're going together, and then I'm going individually. Allison, thank you so much. What Dustin say? One day at a time. Dustin said, being married is like going to AA. How's marriage going? One day at a time. Been 6 months since I've made my own decision. I felt the urge to have an opinion yesterday. Oh my God, that's awesome, Dustin. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's probably one of my best recovery birthday gifts was that laugh. Allison got 6.5 herself. But yeah, so I gotta go seek some counseling. We went together probably 3 or 4 times now, as a couple, as a married couple. And us boys have trust issues, right? Like, I got some serious trust issues. I told the preacher man after church today that I don't even trust you. Like, I just wasn't being disrespectful. I'm just trying to let people in. So us boys, and I guess it's not just us boys, right? But me as a man have a hard time letting people in sometimes. So we're going to be doing some counseling, and hopefully he can peel that onion. It doesn't feel good though, man. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. I guess on the other side of it, the preacher man told me, it's like the peeling of an onion. You gotta deal with them layers. You got to run through them emotions. And I didn't realize, oh man, I really didn't realize how screwed up I really am still. And I don't mean that to be harsh on myself. I just mean that damn, Adam, you got some serious work you still got to do. Because I thought I had the recovery thing whooped. I don't really go to meetings. I got nothing wrong with the circle ups. If circle ups save a lot of people, and if it's beneficial to you, I want you to do more of it. But I shied away from the circle ups in the last couple of years, and I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. We're going to do some type of questions and answers. If y'all got any shout outs, and 1,528 days, one day at a time. Uh-oh, Dino in the house. Brian, a circle up for me, what that means to me is basically like the 12-step program, you know, because in most times, not in all the times, but in Florida, we used to just always sit in a circle. So I just ventured off, started creating content, and I just shied away because where I was from, it was like the same war stories all the time. And at some point, like I just got sick of hearing the same stuff over and over. So I just like turned my shoulder on it. I mean, I've been to a couple up here in Athens.
Yeah, I
you know?
made him come with me to a couple out here.
Yeah. And everywhere you go is different, right? The dynamic's different, the culture's different. And I got a lot more out of the ones up here in North Georgia than I did from the ones in Southwest
I feel like
Florida.
we're so much like Athens community. I don't know where you guys are all from. Recovery Revolution, I see you. Like here in Athens, our meetings, like you could be in an AA meeting, but they'll like, you could still talk about like drugs. You can still talk about codependency. Like, you know what I mean? You can still talk about, if you're on MAT, they're not going to be like, hey, you're not sober. You know what I mean? Like they're very more like open and accepting, you know, of like all things. Especially with our movement of Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, where we are, you know, like a all-inclusive recovery. Like nobody is, you know, excluded, and the recovery is expected. So we have a little bit of a different mindset. I have heard from several people that in Florida, it's very much like, you know, if you're not abstinent based, don't even talk to us.
You're doing it wrong, Adam. You're doing it
Yeah,
wrong. You're going to do it. You're not going to do it this way, and you're going to do it the other way, and you're going to fail, which neither one of us really think like that. It sums it up. Recovery Revolution in the house. All recoveries matter. Like it don't matter how you get up that mountain. It don't matter how long, how many fall offs, how many anythings, right? You know, as long as you go ahead and you make it up that top of that mountain.
Right. Yeah. Whatever you have to do to like get there. And, you know, we're just happy to see you where you're at. You know, we're happy to see everybody where they're at. We want to celebrate you every day.
Oh yeah. So. Because every day you wake up, another chance to do it. Like I didn't go out and make a bad decision. Like I'd be lying to you if I didn't say this weekend was tough. You know what I mean? Because of just different things that was going on inside my head. And, you know, marriage is clearly not all sunshine and rainbows, or maybe it is, and we're seeking that. But you know, you just gotta keep going. You got to keep pushing. Tracy, 897 days today. Yes, that is so awesome.
That is awesome.
Congratulations, Tracy. That's really good.
Riley is from Atlanta,
and her son has 7 months
sober. That is awesome, Riley. So you know about the Georgia recovery movement, right? Let's see.
Sheena.
That's my sister's name. Oh, how cool.
You know, they build them good then if that's your sister.
Yeah,
you know,
my
sister's name.
Sheena. Were you named after Sheena Easton? Because that is who my sister was named after. My mom named her because Sheena Easton was her favorite singer. So that's how she got her name. What's up, Brandon?
Brandon in the house. What's going on, brother? Stephanie. 14 months clean and free here in Utah.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome.
Yeah, I just went to a thing, Stephanie, from USARA. I don't know if you're familiar with USARA. And they do it's like this big organization, and they handle so many different parts of recovery out there. If you haven't, then you should definitely check them out.
Sheena said yes.
Awesome. Rocky.
What do we got, Rocky?
I love that name.
69 months.
Wow.
And day 1 for cannabis. Awesome, Rocky.
There you go.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, every day is a blessing. You know, sometimes we got to count the seconds, count the minutes. You know, for me at 6.5, I pretty much do halves now. You know what I mean? Like September 11th and March 11th. But whatever keeps you on track, keep counting them days, accountability, whatever works, continue to work it.
Yes.
Jasmine, congratulations to everyone. I'm celebrating 6 months after being 1.5 years sober. Awesome.
Hey, that's all right. You didn't lose nothing. You just keep it moving.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, you got
Yeah.
muscle memory
Yes.
on where you just came from and the ability to recognize where you possibly don't want to go.
Absolutely. Night, Brandon. Thanks for checking in with us.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
Danny, clean on methadone if that counts. Hell yeah, that
Listen,
counts.
brother, we firmly support
that
MAT.
counts.
Firmly support it. You know, I felt different coming from Florida. Like she basically taught me about MAT and what was the other one? Harm reduction. And like when I first got up here after having that down in Southwest Florida mindset from hearing all the things so many times, I was like blown away totally against it. And this was 2 years ago, right? Because I hadn't been educated regarding it. You know, a lot of the stigma, just like in recovery and sobriety in general, there's a stigma placed on it. So we actually got a couple videos that we just dropped on YouTube. What is it? Does Medicaid
does harm reduction work?
Yes. And does MAT work?
Is MAT sober? And absolutely, there is so much education on those videos. So Danny, definitely check those out on YouTube. It will help you. It will help to validate, your feelings in recovery. So we support all pathways. And I do not believe that if you go on Suboxone or if you go on methadone or kratom or whatever, that you're substituting anything, right? Because this is how I say it. I'm like, okay, first of all, number one, dead people can't recover.
Yeah.
Number one, okay? If we're burying you, there's no chance at all, okay? And number two, have you ever seen anybody like rob a store for kratom or like for Suboxone? Like it just doesn't really happen, right? There's no like addiction to it. Addiction has to do with compulsive behavior, and a physical dependence is not the same thing as compulsive behavior. So
awesome.
Just love to educate people on that and to validate your recovery and tell you I'm proud of you and you're doing amazing, right? If you didn't stick a needle in your arm today, I'm fucking proud of you.
Or steal your mom's pistol from under her pillow when she was on vacation, like I had to do.
Right.
Man, like even now, like I still got some like heebie-jeebies, like the stuff I used to do, man. But I gotta represent this self. One of the family says 4 days sober from both hard drugs and alcohol. I think it's a start. Proud of myself every day, and also everyone that counts. Yes, 4 days is awesome. Yes. For sure. Just keep going.
If you have any questions, we would be happy to answer.
Yeah, if y'all have any questions whatsoever, we don't necessarily have all the right answers, but we can just provide you an open-minded insight. And we're just so glad everybody's here. What do we got? Angela? October, I have 1 year clean. Yay. Coming soon.
I feel like the 1 year birthday is like so exciting. Like when you get to that 1 year, it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like after my 5 year, I kind of started going like not getting excited about birthdays anymore. Like, it's just another day. It's like after you turn 30, right? You're just like, it's just another day.
Can I tell you a good story about my 1 year?
Sure.
So I downloaded this app, right? And I eliminated people, places, and things like crazy. I wasn't hanging out with nobody. I wasn't even answering the Connect's phone that wanted to drop things in my lap on the front. Like I completely got myself out of the game and out of just that atmosphere, right? I downloaded the app. I was in a relationship, and I'll never forget it. We were at SeaWorld, right? We went to SeaWorld to celebrate my 1 year, and I had the app on my phone. And it's like, you got 364 days and 29 minutes, right? And I'm like, oh my God, half hour from now. And the addict in me put this massive expectation that everybody was going to call for me, or everybody was going to call for me, and everybody was going to clap for me, and everybody was going to say, go Adam, I'm so proud of you, bro. So proud of you. I'll never forget. We're in the line for the penguins, right? To go to the icicle penguin thing. The 1 year came, nobody called me, like nobody at all. And then I'll never forget how bad the penguin thing stunk. Like there was penguin poop, I guess, everywhere up in there, labor shortages. Oh, man. And I'm like, oh man, I'm fixing to go raw. And the door's open. I'm like, what is this? So sorry, weird story. Had to share it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like with our family, right? When we expect when we're so excited and what's up, Larnie?
Larnie in the house.
We get
What's that?
we get so excited, right? And the whole our recovery community gets so excited about sober days and encouraging each other.
Oh yeah,
And
Larnie's one of them for sure.
Oh, for sure. I've known Larnie. Larnie has known me from day one. And
A1 since day one.
yes. And so we expect our family to be so excited for us, right? And really, they're like, oh, quit doing drugs and go to work every day? Wow. Like,
about time.
about
You got
time
together,
that you
got your
started doing
shit together.
what you were doing, what you're supposed to be doing, you know?
Which they sort of kind of have a valid point.
Yes,
I mean,
which
there is hypothetical validity. It's valid statement, you
Yes.
know, like it's like, damn, bro, I've been waiting on you for like 7, 8, 10 years
Yeah.
to get right. You know how many times I done came to you and said you're going to jail if you don't get
Yeah.
right. Now you got 1 year. You want me to buy you a cake from Publix?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Danny, yeah, I was at 160 milligrams. I'm down to 80. Tomorrow will be 75. Awesome.
Danny. Just
take your time.
Yes.
If you're feeling like a champ and you got it, run that. And don't be scared on the what if tip one day. Just, you know, I was at 75 and I might just have to go to 80. I'm not saying what to do. I'm not condoning either measure. I'm just saying that just be aware. You're doing fantastic and
Yes.
just keep on keeping on.
Yes.
Angela, if you're still here, have a wonderful night. Working on a Sunday. Let's see. We got Dino. Thank you for your openness. I have shared your page with my friends and family. You both get it. Thank you so much, Dino. You know, that share button is the most important button that we possess in recovery because,
Absolutely.
you know, you have to recover out loud. So many people in where I'm from, Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, Florida specifically.
Dino's from Tampa.
Is he from Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to go see him then. We got so many people in Tampa. It's ridiculous. Sarasota, Tampa. We're making a trip.
Yeah.
You ready, Dino? We're coming.
Tour.
We're just leaving right now. I'll be there in 7 hours, brother.
Oh goodness.
Paula, my boyfriend got into an accident on his way home from the clinic and they charged him with a DUI.
Ew.
What state is that in, Paula? What state is that in?
Yeah,
That sounds like some Florida stuff right there, where I'm from.
Yucky. That's yucky.
Yes. Stephanie, love you guys. Be safe. God is good. Good night. Good night, Stephanie. Becky, hey, methadone, pretty here. In Ohio, almost a year. Awesome, Becky.
Awesome,
Keep
Becky.
that going
Proud
up.
of
We got so many
you.
coming up on a year tonight.
Yeah, I know. There's it's such a celebration night. You have Adam and his 6.5 years. 2 of my recovery friends got married. They got married to other recovery people. So 2 of my recovery girlfriends married 2 recovery guys. And I mean, just amazing. Larnie, another one of my recovery friends, getting married.
I think she's getting married this weekend coming. I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a week from now.
To another recovery woman. It's like, wow.
There's a bunch of that up here.
So many weddings. Yeah.
Yeah, like recovery weddings.
Recovery weddings.
The relapse rate in my old circle was so fast we couldn't even bring you to Dairy Queen because one of us done fell off already. So to see like these long-term relationships built,
yes,
it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I am coming up on 9 months clean and I feel amazing.
Yay.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, awesome things of recovery.
Yes. Roxanne, what's up, Roxanne?
Whitney in the house from West Virginia. Glad to have you. What do we got, Timothy? 3 more days and he'll be 8 years clean.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
That's what I'm going for next July.
Yeah,
I don't
say 3 days. I say 2 days and a wake up.
Yeah.
And I'll have 8 years clean. Good job, Timothy. That's
can tell we've
awesome.
been in jail.
Yeah, just a couple times. Thank you both for your selfless experience, strength, and hope. Roxanne, thank you so much. Larnie, enjoyed the birthday. Yes, thank you so much, Larnie. I'm sure I'll see you around at some place, sometime. Sister Becky, I love y'all and your messages. We do recover. I just think we're transparent. You know what I mean? Like we ain't nothing special. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get me wrong. It feels good when we get comments and y'all are engaging and we get emails. You know, one that really made me feel good though, you know, like I understand like we're not nothing special. We're just the same as everybody else in this
Right.
group right now. We
Mhm.
breathe air, we pump blood, right? But you know, something that really touched my heart like 30 days ago, we went off to Rockingham, North Carolina. And this might make me emotional. I'm going to try my best to do this dry eyed. A 10 or 12-year-old girl
Mm.
came up to us.
Mhm.
Now, was that the one that was on stage speaking?
No.
We're in a recovery overdose awareness. So my brother died from an overdose the day before my 3-year mark. Robbie's been gone 3.5 years, effective yesterday, right? There's this 12-year-old girl that lost her mom and she's on stage and like she's up there with us. Like we went individually, but she's trying to just tell the world that it's going to be okay. And this girl's 12 years old and her mom overdosed and it's this girl's birthday.
Yeah.
And she's on stage. I'm like, whew, that took some guts.
Yeah.
We're just regurgitating what happened to us, but to have a 12-year-old girl with her mom dead from OD and she's on stage talking to a crowd, I don't know how many people saying it's going to be all right. I mean, it was incredibly, incredibly touching. But then another girl came up to us after and was like, you know, my mom's on drugs, but hearing your story, it gives me hope. Yeah. So it was absolutely amazing, absolutely touching. Becky, hello from Ohio in the house. Angela, congratulations. What do we got, Larnie? 32511. Please remember that life shows up. Build a strong foundation no matter what your pathway. Stay connected, be of service, and try to do better than you did yesterday.
Yes.
What a strong, positive message from our sister Larnie. You know, what really gets what speaks volumes to me is to stay connected and be of service.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because clearly in Athens, it don't matter what pathway, we all support anything. Like if you're getting better than you were before, we support you and we'll clap and we're super proud of any milestone you hit. But for me to stay connected and be of service, which is something that I just thoroughly enjoy. You know, it's why we do these videos. We try to do appearances and just remain vigilant in our own community. Hi from Connecticut in the house. Clarksville, Pennsylvania. This one's awesome. Roxanne. Nice to be a working member of society, accountable, reliable, trustworthy. Maintenance is so important if that's what works for you. Keep on keeping on. That is so awesome.
Yes.
Becky, like we are not functioning addicts, but we didn't know how to get to be a sober person working for my recovery 100 full time. Yeah.
Definitely important to put like everything into it. Like, I mean, you know, especially like early, you know, I feel like it's such a toss up. Early is rough. And then when it gets later, you kind of have to like revive it. You know, it's kind of like a marriage. You have to keep it spicy.
Yeah.
You have to put things into it.
Got to keep it spicy. Got to keep communication.
Yeah.
Here's a really good one. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm nervous to get off completely, but we want to try to have a baby and I want to be off before because I don't want to do that to my baby. I mean, that's a really good starting point. You know, I mean, you didn't get off for one of yours, correct?
Well, I was on addicted to pain pills. And my daughter came out and she was dependent on pain pills. Babies are never addicted, you know, because that has to do with like compulsion and behavior, but she was dependent. I had to, you know, she was in the NICU for 6 weeks and she had to be on phenobarbital and morphine, and it was terrible. And the judgment and the stigma, it was just awful. But I was on pain pills. I was not on methadone or Suboxone or anything. Now doctors know how to do that stuff. You know what I mean? So as long as you are, you know, have the relationship with your doctor, that's like a whole nother story. So.
Right.
Paula from Pennsylvania.
Yep. Paula from Pennsylvania. I feel amazing being clean, and it feels great to hear. I'm proud of you. We're so proud of you as well. You know, that's one thing is you got to clap for other people. You
Yeah.
know, like when I was an addict, I was very envious and I was very jealous. I remember probably about a year or two before I was blessed enough to catch a heroin charge in Florida. I was walking down the road because I didn't have a driver's license and I didn't have a car and I didn't have anything, right? And I remember being pissed off at the cars driving by because they had a vehicle and I didn't. Like,
Mhm.
what a horrible way to think. Like, you're only given so much time on this earth, and to consume it with, oh, I'm worthless, I'm a piece of shit, like all the things that I told myself between my ears. And then I remember I'd also be mad because, you know, my mom left me at a Salvation Army when I was 2 years old to pursue her addiction. So I was always mad, like, their parents are still together. He has a car. They bought him, da, da, da. And it was like, oh my God. And now it's like, it really didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like at the time, I was exactly where I was supposed to be. As much as I didn't want to accept or acknowledge anything at all, I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Roxanne, got to run. Much love. Appreciate all that you do. Available for service soon. I highly encourage service of any sorts to the newbies. Yeah,
Yes,
for
yes,
sure.
yes.
What's some of the service things you did when you were a newbie? I did like the show up early, make the coffee, you know, clean up, stack chairs if we had to. What was some of the things like you did?
So when I was a newbie, you could still smoke in the AA meeting.
What? Y'all were burning cigarettes in the AA meeting?
Yes, and so
You know, we walked out of there smelling good.
cleaning the ashtrays, you know, getting a home group, offering to chair meetings. I was telling my story at 89 Days Sober in the crisis intervention unit. So going and visiting, because I had actually been in the crisis intervention unit. So to be able to come in on, you know, come in through that same door and then be able to leave, not only was like so cool to me, but like being able to share with these people, hey, I was there too. I was where you were.
Like literally.
Mm-hmm, literally.
Like I was
sitting
literally right there. That
with
was my
those
chair.
same socks with the things
Yeah.
on the.
Yeah, that's you know, them socks with the things on the bottom. That's when
Yeah.
you meet your Prince Charming
Yes.
in rehab.
Yes.
Does it fit? Glass slipper. Oh my goodness, we should
Yeah.
be together. We got so much in common.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally used to be like that, like looking to try to like hook up and like detox. Like what?
Sure.
Like,
It happened to me.
Why would you try to hook up with someone in detox?
Because
Like,
you got
that's
so much in common.
crazy.
You literally have so much in common. You don't got to go to The Bachelor. You know, it's like, oh, hey, what are you into? Oh, drugs and alcohol. Oh, girl, me too. We should hang out sometime. And you're in there trying to work on yourself, trying to get yourself better. The key is just get yourself better. Stay in your own lane. You know, one of the groups recommend about a year. I
Yeah.
think I waited till about the 6-month mark, and I didn't wait long enough. So, me too on so many levels. Here's a good one. Do you guys go to a meeting? I keep hearing you can't make it totally sober without meetings, but never been to a meeting. You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So for me, that's how I made my connections and met my network and had the foundation. It wasn't like there was something magic in the meetings. It was the connection I made with other people, surrounding myself with people who were trying to stay on that road to recovery. And that was what it was for me. It was doing service in the meetings, and then the connections and being around like-minded people. They say you are who you hang with. Or,
Yeah, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with.
right.
You know?
So if I'm hanging out with people who are trying to make their life better and not getting fucked up every day, then you know that's where I'm gonna be at. But you know, I think you can make a foundation in lots of places with friends.
Sure. I don't go to meetings. Jamie's brought me to a couple. You know, I've been up here 2 years, so I got up here about my 4.5-year mark. Today is my 6.5-year mark. And I don't really go. Now, what I do and what the success lies in somebody else, like we're all individuals, right? So you have to individualize your recovery to your success. I firmly think it would be really cool and it would be good. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. The first couple of times I walked in there, because I got trust issues and I come from the streets of Southwest Florida, and everybody's like holding hands and singing and stuff, and I'm like, what is this? Like, they're reading all these things. Number one, number two, number three. I'm serious when I say this right now. Like, there was some hyped up anonymous people. If they would ever get out of the anonymous and be more vocal, they could probably change the world. But, I would suggest you try it, brother. So I suggest you go in there, and don't let the first time freak you out or the second time freak you out. You got to sometimes go in there and get bits and pieces. So like, I got sick of hearing all the old stories. You want to know why? Because I kept listening to all the old stories. Like, it's almost like church for me. Does every single thing the preacher man up there says just appeal to me 100%? And I'm like, oh, no. But you got to take the nuggets from it. Like this today when we went, man, I thought it was for me. Did I get 100% of it? No, I didn't. But I got enough to where I had to take care of some things that I had to take care of between me and the Lord. So that's what started me in my newfound me. I thank God for you and your sobriety. I do too.
Thanks, Angela.
In the beginning, I heard everybody like, I didn't do it. I don't owe myself my recovery. I owe it all to God. And I'm sitting here like, girl, you're weird. That's what I was thinking, right? And I didn't even really get it. And only until the last few years that I really, really understand that. Let's see what Larnie did. What did Larnie do? Dun, 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 dun. Washed ashtrays and made coffee. You got to wash them things. I don't know if I've ever washed an ashtray.
Biscayne, yeah.
Yeah, Biscayne. They make you wash.
Biscayne,
they make you wash the ashtrays.
That was the smoking meeting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, Larnie's been sober for longer than me, so
She has.
There's probably been lots of different places that you could smoke back then. H&I. I did H&I for like a little bit. H&I is Narcotics Anonymous. I think you get to go into the jails and talk, and you get to do different things. It's a service. It's service.
So what does it stand for?
I don't know.
Larnie, what does the good old H&I stand for?
Is it
for
like
the people
hospitality and institutions or something? I can't
probably
remember.
That would maybe be right.
I'm not sure. I might be guessing on that.
Angela, Google NA Zoom meetings. Yes, there is so much stuff on there. There are so many recovery speakers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I ventured off and went into look at this. I ventured off and went into a whole bunch of different options. So I challenge you to explore some other options.
Mm-hmm.
At least she's honest.
Look, Larnie, I need Larnie to come on and do a live with me one day. We need to schedule this, Larnie, probably after your wedding, and just have you like testify at how insane I really was.
Yes. So you were a hot
Adam
mess.
doesn't believe me.
What do you mean I don't believe you? We've been married for like a year. Of course I believe you. Except for now, instead of hot mess, she's hot mess. Is there a difference? Yet to be found. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I was so I was like really out there.
I think we all were. Some are just further than others. Anybody that really decides to come into recovery. I mean, we all have different levels inside of us that are hot messes.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, named after my best friend in Fort Myers, Florida. What is up, brother? Hello from Boyne City, Missouri. 14 months, 10 days. That is so awesome. Keep up the good work. Find the eagles. You can't soar with the eagles if you're on the ground clucking with the chickens.
That's right.
Hey, we used to, that's something I heard down there too. Well, let's say it again. You can't soar with them eagles if you're down on the ground clucking with them chickens. I think that's a turkey. Was that a turkey?
Don't mind him.
Okay. All right. This one's a good one. I want to find a meeting. Just nervous to meet new people.
Okay, Danny. So I know you are scared to meet new people because you're scared of like being rejected or hurt or something. However, you will make some of the best friends if you will just open yourself up. to it. I mean,
and that's going to be tough because it's so tough for
telling
me. Like, and when I first walked in there, I don't trust you, homie. For all I know is you're going to call Crime Stoppers and get that $500 reward because you just happen to recognize my face. Like, that's the mentality that I brought. Don't bring that mentality in there. You know, you got to have faith.
Mhm.
You really got to have faith.
Trust the process.
Yes.
Trust the process.
Angela had a great question. Why did the chicken cross the road? And we'll talk to Paula while we're waiting on that answer. This is a great one. And I think you're a perfect candidate to answer this one. What about those that aren't traditionally religious? How does that work?
Well, you know, in the steps, they tell us that we are to be spiritual and not religious. Also, like, I find that in like everything. Like, for me, you know, even though, yes, I am a Christian and I'm a follower of Jesus, I am more about my relationship rather than the legality of it, right? Adam laughs at me because he thinks that, like, the way that I have such a strong relationship with my concept of God is that he's like my best friend, my everything. And he's like, you have this magical, imaginary relationship with somebody you can't see.
It's a little weird to try to understand, but I'm like, as I continue what I have to do to grow where I have to, it gets more intriguing, but it was a little weird.
But they just tell us, you know, when we first come in, that we just have to believe that something greater than us is in control, whether that's your meeting, your group of friends, whether I've heard them say like the doorknob, you know, because if the doorknob is your higher power is in control, then an idiot is not running your life anymore, right? Because I was an idiot, right? So, you know, if you are, you know, one of these people that believes in like the sun, the moon, the universe, the
Karma,
spirit,
yin and yang,
whatever.
I ventured off into everything at one point.
Yeah, whatever it is that you are, you know, but it's got to be something, right? And if it's not, then let it be the group of people around you. Let it be your sponsor, right? Like whoever that can be, that you can just hand it over. And surrendering your will is so refreshing. Like, it is so relieving. You're like, oh, I don't have to be in control of this anymore. Like, I don't have to be. So give it a try. Just give it a try. Even imagining, do it daily. Okay, here it is. Here's my will. I'm going to give it to you. Starship in the sky, whatever it is, right? That you're doing it. As long as it's not you with your hands on it, then you can proceed, right? That's the main concept.
Awesome. So Larney, it is hospitals and institutions.
Yeah.
Hospitals and institutions.
Yep.
Jonathan, I'm sorry. He's in Michigan, not in Missouri.
Michigan.
Yeah. Probably getting cold up there already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Missouri's MO. Right.
Yeah. I didn't get that far through school. I Google everything. I'm a walking, talking calculator. Can't spell and don't know all my states. But
it's true. He asked me to spell everything.
Literally. Like, we'll be doing content, you know, like outside of these lives, and I'll be like, babe, is SURE sure? Like, that's how brain dead I get when it comes to spelling.
Yes, for sure.
Well, do you have one or two questions for me, and then we'll get out of here pretty soon?
So, talking about like taking care of yourself in recovery, some things that you're doing. So this is really exciting. Adam is going to the dentist tomorrow. He's not excited about going to the dentist.
Last time I went to the dentist, he took me for like $8,000. So no, I am not excited to go to the dentist tomorrow.
But things that we have to do to take care of ourselves, right? We didn't come into recovery to die and to not take care of ourselves. So, you know, I think that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Going to the dentist, and I mean, that's like a privilege for us in recovery to be able to, you know.
It don't feel like no privilege to me. I'm giving him privilege to my wallet. I don't trust that dude. As we talked about before, trust issues. Like, I got one relationship with this dude from like South America. He's a dentist in my neighborhood, and I don't know, new things, right? Like my friend earlier, you know, I want to go to a meeting, but it makes me uncomfortable, or whatever the term was. I don't want to go see Dr. Nail tomorrow either, so that he can go, oh, that'll be $1,500, but it's something that you just have to do. And then after I pay for it, and 6 months from now, when my face don't hurt, I want to be like, I should have did that sooner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, just taking care of yourself, yes, they are very welcoming and kind. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, question. You got nothing for me?
I mean, if you want to give a word of advice for the newcomer out here.
Just continuously go after it, right? And I don't mean by like, I don't feel good in the moment, or my baby mama, baby daddy, somebody upset me. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, for me, what lied in my success when I was the newcomer, when I was early in this, was a wholesome approach, a well-rounded approach. Just putting that thing down is just part of my recovery. Like, I had to learn about nutrition and sleep and breathing technique and like stretching. I go to the chiropractor twice a week now, or twice a week, not yet, twice a month. So I would say just keep pushing. So one thing that was very effective for me in the beginning is I made myself a list. Tomorrow I'm going to clean the bathroom, sweep the floor, Windex the windshield, the whatever. And when I'm done with this list that's, say, this big, I had like self-value and self-worth. I'm like, yes, I tackled it. There's a video on YouTube, this like 4 or 5-star general says, you want your morning to start off good? Make your bed. I was like, what? If you want your morning to start off good, make your bed. Because before you're fully awake, you will have completed the first task of the day, which is proof that you can go on to the second task of the day. And you continuously go on task after task. And then at some point I went from cleaning the bathroom floor and taking out the trash because mom was going to yell at me, to saving some money, to getting my driver's license back, to buying a ring for Jamie, to paying for an airplane ticket, to renting a car and driving, to a vacation. Like, I started with this. Sometimes you got to play the cards that you have. And when you're early in recovery, you feel like the cards that you have been dealt aren't necessarily fair. So you have to play the cards that you're dealt. You have to deal with what you got when you have it. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, right? First time I heard that saying, it was from a law enforcement officer that I had went to Riverdale High School with in Southwest Florida. He comes to me, he goes, Armstrong, and I'm in cuffs facing a heroin charge. He says, Armstrong, what happened? I'm like, oh, you guys got me. My homeboy Truckin Miller, Officer Truckin Miller, which has since passed away. My man looks at me, he goes, Armstrong, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And in the moment, dude, I was mad. I was ready to like go all crazy on him, except for I was in cuffs and I didn't want to get sprayed, right? But looking back on it, I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Right here, right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So just keep going. And I'm super proud of everybody. If I can get to 6.5, you can easily get to 6.5. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Please press that share button. We're like 3 subscribers away from 1,900 on YouTube.
Yes, please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
help me out here.
Yep. Sharing is caring. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and thanks so much. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Good night.